Hey guys, Steve here, Fanatic Perspective. Blake Griffin just got traded to the Detroit Pistons, ladies and gentlemen. Just 6 months after signing a $175 million contract, 6 months later, he is shipped off to Detroit. Strictly business, never personal. And that's why in this game, in this business, in this league, I can never, ever fault a player in free agency for doing what's best for him or leaving organization or whatever, because teams will turn around and trade you the second that they don't see the productivity or they see an opportunity or they see an opportunity to rebuild. In this case, it looks like the Clippers are looking to rebuild. Things aren't going the way they had envisioned a few years ago. They made this huge, grandiose pitch to Blake Griffin in the offseason. Showed him images of potentially retiring his jersey one day. And not even 6 months later, he is a Detroit Piston. Big deal for Detroit. I know they're trying to push to not only make the playoffs, but make some noise this year, and I like it. They're getting a superstar. I like it for the league. We're getting a superstar into the Eastern Conference, so we're starting to kind of balance things out a little bit. Blake's got to stay healthy. He's had so many injury issues, but right now in terms of his basketball ability, he is in the prime of his career. I think he's given us 23, 8, and 5 right now. I'm excited to see him play right next to Drummond. Inside-outside combination, because Blake has really developed his perimeter game over the last few seasons. He's shooting the three-point shot consistently. Good. He's turned himself into a good free throw shooter. So I'm excited to see how he responds with Stan Van Gundy, who has shown to be a relatively good coach from a tactical perspective. So lots of exciting things. I mean, the Pistons shaking things up. They've lost 8 straight games. And now the Clippers. So for those of you who haven't seen the trade, Blake Griffin, Willie Reed, and Brice Johnson were traded to the Detroit Pistons for Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, my man Boban, who used to be on the Spurs, and I believe a first and second round pick. So clearly a rebuilding trade on the Clippers side. Tobias Harris is a good player, but he puts up hollow numbers. He's he puts up them Al Jefferson numbers. Avery Bradley, I think, obviously he's going to be a free agent, I believe, this year. So he could be a guy that gets moved again to a contender. He's a guy whose value increases the better the team he's on, because he's a really good role player. And he was having a hard time in Detroit because they weren't competing for anything. But when he's asked to just, when he's playing next to a good guard, like you saw with Isaiah Thomas last year, and he's asked to really, buckle down defensively on another guard like a Kyrie or a Steph, he can be a big nuisance and an aid for one of these contending teams, maybe somebody like Cleveland. So who knows? I think just to wrap this up, I mean, there's a lot of big moves still left to be made. Kevin Love is still out there. You can see maybe him and Tristan Thompson get moved. Maybe even Isaiah Thomas get moved. We have to see what New Orleans is going to do with Boogie Cousins out. Milwaukee has shaken some things up. They made a trade earlier, not a blockbuster, but they did get Eric Bledsoe, who was disgruntled in Phoenix. So, Sacramento has some pieces that they may be looking to move. It's a fun time of the year going into the AllStar Break, All-Star Weekend. For a lot of people that don't know, even though we're still a little under a month away, few weeks away, month or whatever, but that's a time where a lot of these GMs and whatnot get together and start talking over a couple of drinks, blah, and some trades typically can come out of that right before it's time to push into the playoffs. So exciting times. I'm excited to see Blake Griffin compete in the Eastern Conference. I hope they make the playoffs so I can see him compete in a Eastern Conference playoff series and maybe break through the second round. Who knows? I mean, he's still an elite talent when healthy, and I think he will help Drummond's game a lot, and I think he will be featured greatly in Stan Van Gundy's offense. Now we will see what happens with Doc Rivers, and if this is going to be his last year. I think he has 1 year left on his deal, or if he decides to retire or move on to another team with a little bit more talent where he can kind of take them over the top. So be on the lookout for that at the end of the season. But wow, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this trade. If you like it for the Clippers, who do you think won the trade? I think it's a great trade for Detroit, to be honest with you. It's really hard to get stars in this league, guys. But let me know what you guys think. Keep coming back with you with more content and videos. Like I said, I'm still working on that mock draft for the NFL, as well, Super Bowl preview this week. So a lot of things coming at you guys from Fanatic Perspective. Steve, over and out.